We're gonna break down what you need to know before you purchase aftermarket wheels and tires. Don't be that guy that spends thousands on wheels and tires and ends up returning them because you didn't do your research first. What's up guys, it's Marissa with Krietz Customs. Like I said before, we're gonna take a deep dive into purchasing aftermarket wheels and tires. Don't be that guy who does tons of research. No, they don't do tons of research. They don't do any research. They don't do any research before purchasing wheels and tires. They just see them online, they purchase them, they get them, they're like, I don't want this, why would I ever buy this? And send them right back. And then it's just a whole ordeal with you and the company itself. So we have a step-by-step process with finish, bolt pattern, what you're looking for specifically, how offset determines how far it sticks out, how much trimming is involved, what kind of lift you have to put on the vehicle, as well as tires and what brand you want to go with or what look you're going with. So there's a lot of information in this video, so keep watching, pay attention, and don't make the mistakes of thousands of other people. First, we want to take a deep dive into actually purchasing wheels and tires, what you guys need to specifically look for. So right now we have a huge wheel display of what you guys can see in-house right here in Frederick, Maryland. We have a 50+ wheel display as well as all of our other vehicles that are lifted. So first, we're going to take a deep dive into finish. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to what the finish is when wheel companies show the description of the wheel. So you want to pay attention to satin black, gloss black and milled, all gloss black. You want to pay attention to color, if it's candy red, candy blue, all candy red, especially the anthracites or the DDT, which stands for double dark tint, because you guys want to make sure you pay attention because pictures sometimes don't do it justice when you're looking on a website. So for example, this one here, this is the Fuel Rogue and it's in that DDT finish, which is a double dark tint. So you guys can see that this wheel is completely gloss black, but if you put this in the sunlight or get a little bit of a light on the wheel, you can actually see there's a gray tint to the top portion of the spokes. So if you guys see that DDT finish on any type of wheel, you're gonna get a gray tint to the wheel. It's not gonna be an all gloss black, even if the picture shows that. Next, you're gonna come over here. This is gonna be that matte black finish. This is the Fuel Vapor. So this is gonna be a completely all matte black wheel or satin black. It's kind of the same thing on both aspects of the description. So you guys can definitely see that this is an all matte black. It has no gloss to it. Down here, you can see that you have the gloss black and milled finish. So this is gonna be a shiny black. And then you have your chrome accents all across the wheel, especially around the lip and the spokes on itself. Some other finish you guys are gonna see is gonna be gloss black and candy red, especially through the fuel lines. So you do have your candy red accents. You want to make sure when you are purchasing a wheel that has some color to it, especially with the gloss black, they clear it with the gloss color finish as well. So you guys can see if you put this in the sunlight, it is cleared with the candy red finish. So the black does have some of that red finish in it as well. Some other finish you guys can see down here, it's going to be the all candy red. So you guys can see the all red wheel. Obviously that is self-explanatory. It's an all red wheel, so it's going to look great on especially Rubicons. So Rubicons look super clean with all red wheels because it has that red accent on the hood as well as some of the other accent pieces. And then let me just show you one more finish and then I can kind of go over what they look best on. So the last finish here is going to be your matte black and milled. So you guys can see this is a dull finish on the black, and then you're also going to have your chrome accents on the spokes as well as the outside portion of the wheel, depending upon what brand you go with. Those are kind of the main finishes that you guys are going to see. So obviously some other you guys can see chrome is chrome and polish is polished. This is a forged wheel, so this is going to be an all polished wheel. And then this is a cast wheel that's chrome, so it's going to have that chrome plating on the front of it as well. So some of the finishes look best with a lot of vehicles. So like if you have a white Trail Boss, the dull finishes look good because it kind of matches with the front bumpers or some of the area colors that are just that matte finish, and it's that plasticky look on the front bumper or the front grille. Your gloss finishes look really good on all black vehicles. So that way it kind of meshes with the paint on the vehicles, like an F-150 all blacked out. It looks really good with all gloss black wheels. If you have some chrome accents, like your badging is chrome on your F-150, Chevy, Toyota, or Jeep, the gloss black and milled finishes look the best just because you're giving it that pop of color, so that way it kind of meshes with the rest of the vehicle and your chrome accents. Obviously customer preference is customer preference. I can only give you what I like and what I see it looks best on different vehicles. If you have a specific vehicle that you want to see certain things on, obviously we can help you out with that and send you pictures and try to do our best to make sure you're getting what you want. Obviously give us a call if you ever need help or questions about wheels itself. So that's pretty much covers finishes. The other thing you want to make sure you're looking for is going to be your bolt pattern. You don't want to just buy a set of wheels and not know what your bolt pattern is, because you can go from a 5-lug, 6-lug, or 8-lug with your heavy-duty vehicles. So you want to make sure you're purchasing exactly for your vehicle. You also want to make sure you're paying attention to your year of the vehicle as well. So like for the Rams, for example, from the older Rams to up to a 2018 and sometimes a 2019, you have a 5-lug Ram. But if you're going to the new body Rams, which is the 2020 and newer, they did switch to a 6-lug bolt pattern. So you guys want to make sure you're paying attention to the year, make, and model of your vehicle to get your bolt pattern, because obviously you don't want to purchase an 8-lug wheel and you have a 6-lug truck. So if you have questions about that, obviously we can give you as much information as possible of what your bolt pattern is. So that pretty much covers bolt pattern and what the finishes are of the wheels. We're going to take a look outside. We're actually going to show you sizings and offsets, so you guys are getting the perfect fitment for your truck, whether it's lifted or stock, or even a 3-inch kit. So we can show you the offsets of how it sits outside of the fender well, so you guys have as much information as possible when you're going with your vehicle. Where are you going? We got to go this way. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, so I know we talked about bolt pattern and finishes, but there was one thing that I forgot to mention with the finishes. With the forged wheels, and we also work with a powder coating company that we can customize the wheels any way that you want to. So if you're looking for a crazy color, you're looking for some milled accents in there that are like bright orange, bright green. A lot of the wheels are completely customizable, but obviously it comes with a pretty penny as well. So make sure you guys keep that in mind with custom finishes. If you're doing a specific build, a show build, stuff like that, we can do pretty much anything that you want to, so make sure you keep that in mind too. Now, I know we went over a lot of information inside, but stick with me. I want to make sure that you guys are getting all the information you need when picking out your wheel and tire set. First thing you want to determine is what kind of look you're looking for. Are you daily driving the vehicle? Are you off-roading the vehicle? What do you use the truck for specifically? That's going to help determine what size wheel and tire package, what size suspension kit to put on the vehicle, and pretty much an all-in-all package together, what's going to be best for you specifically. So as you guys can see, I have two vehicles behind me or beside me. I have a GMC Yukon, and then I also have a GMC 1500. You guys can definitely see the differences of the wheel and tire packages we've chosen. So we have a specific build that we do on our SUVs and our trucks. We know what works, we know what customers love, we know what's going to be the best fit for our inventory. Obviously, these are things that we have come up with that works best for us. If it's not something that you like, a lot of the guys think that with the 6-inch lift, 22, 12, and 35s, they're all pavement princesses. We know what people say about our trucks. We don't care, we sell them. And if you're looking for a different look, obviously we can help you get the setup you want. So we're gonna kind of look in depth of sizing and offset in this segment here. So first off, we're gonna start with a GMC Yukon. If you guys wanna come a little bit closer and see the setup that we have on this, you guys can kind of see this gives about a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch poke out. You guys can kind of see here where the tread is from the fender all the way down here. So you guys can see about a 1/2 inch of poke out. Now this is going to be a 22 by 10, and you guys are going to see this is that matte finish. And then you obviously have your tire, which is a 295/50/22. And then this Yukon does have a 3-inch suspension kit on there, so that way we can run those bigger wheels and tires. Now, if you like a more flush look, you want to go with a 20 by 9. That's going to sit with that fender pretty close. So you also want to keep in mind the build, how you want it to look, and then also your state laws as well, because a lot of different areas have state laws where if they stick out too far, it doesn't pass inspection. So you also want to keep those things in mind too. But this one specifically, again, 22 by 10, 295/50, 22-inch tire with your 10 wides and 9 wides. If you're going with a tire, you want to see this one specifically. You can say there's a little bit more of a bubble on the outside here that's going to protect that wheel. So if you are a curb finder, and we see a lot of them, I promise you. If you're a curb finder, you're gonna want a tire that's gonna protect the wheel rather than having a stretch look where your wheel is gonna hit the curb before the tire does. So you want to protect that wheel as much as possible. You guys can see that this is a concave wheel, so this is going to have the spokes that come from the center of the wheel all the way to the outside portion of that. So it's going to give you a different look, obviously, than this one over here, which is a flat face, but we'll get into that in a second. Like I said, again, 22 by 10, you're going to have, on this one specifically, you're going to have about a 1/2 inch poke out on here. And then with your tire, 295/50, you're going to have a little bit more protection of that wheel too. So coming over here to this one on our big GMC, this has a 6-inch suspension kit, and we did a 22 by 12 with a 35-inch tire. So you guys can see this is a flat face version, and then you're gonna have about a 5-inch of lip. So you guys can see here with my hand down here, this is about 5 inches of lip. And this is a completely flat-faced wheel, so you are gonna get that deep dish look with this version. Now you can kind of see a difference in the tires. This is a 12.5 wide tire with a 12 wide wheel. So you're not gonna have that big protection like the 10 wide does on a 12.5 wide tire. So this right here, it's gonna hit some of the tire, but it's also gonna be more susceptible of hitting that wheel as well. So you're gonna get some of that curb damage. So make sure, obviously keep that in mind when picking out your wheel and tire package. So number one, figure out the look that you want. Do you want to go with a more flush look, or do you want to go with that bigger pavement princess, as everybody says, style, like on this GMC 1500? There's different, obviously, sizings. There's different ways to do wheel and tire packages. The older generations like the small wheel with the big tire. The newer generations, they all like the big wheel and very small tire. Just depends on ride quality as well. Obviously, the more tire you have on your vehicle, you're gonna have a smoother ride. If you have less tire and it's more stretch, it's gonna be a little bit more of a rougher ride, but you know, the younger generation, they don't care. They just want it to look good. So 3 things to keep in mind. What do you want it to look like? How far do you want it to stick out past the fenders? And what kind of ride quality you want? And then a 4th one, what do you use the truck for specifically? Do you daily drive it? Do you off-road it? Do you want a small wheel, big tire? Do you want a big wheel, small tire? What kind of tread pattern do you like? Do you like an all-terrain? Do you like a hybrid? Do you like a mud tire? In the next segment, we're gonna go over tires specifically so you guys can see the different kind of versions of the tires you can go with, and we'll go more in depth for that in the next segment. Last step of the process is going to figure out what tire you actually wanna go with. So like I said before, you wanna make sure you know what style and what look you wanna go with your build specifically, and what wheel and tire package you wanna add to it. So starting off with this one, you guys can see this is a street tire. This is what comes on most factory SUVs, most factory trucks. This is just a Bridgestone. You guys can see it's got the straight center tread. It's great for just a factory look if you wanna keep it that way. We also offer this style tire as well. Now, just the one step for an upgrade is going to be the Nitto Recon Grappler. This is going to be an all-terrain tire that Nitto sells, and you guys can see that this one is a little bit more of a thicker tread. This is going to be an all-terrain tire, so it's going to be quiet on the road. It has the small center tread here to keep it quiet on the road. It's great for just a daily driver. Not so much a lot of off-road activity, but it's definitely good for that daily driver, like I said before. The next step up is going to be the Nitto Ridge Grappler. This is going to be their hybrid tire, so you're going to get the best of both worlds for this tire. That's why it's so popular. You're going to still have that small center tread here, so it's going to keep it quiet on the road, but it also gives you a bigger shoulder lug here, so it's going to give you that mud tire look without having to forgo any ride quality or noise. So this is the most popular tire that we sell. The AT3s that Toyo offers, any of the hybrid tires is going to be the most popular across the board. The next step up is going to be the mud tire. This one specifically is going to be an Amp Terrain Attack. This is going to be their mud tire. So you guys can see this is going to have the huge lugs for the tread itself. And this is really good for any type of off-road capability. So it's going to be loud on the road when driving just because it has that humming, because you have your larger center tread here and you also have your bigger sipes and everything through the tread itself. So it is going to be a lot louder on the road, but it's going to be good for that off-road vehicle. If you're looking to use it on a Jeep, Tacoma, if you want to take your truck out off-roading, your mud tire is the way to go. So this is more so for off-roading, loud noise. This is going to be your happy medium. You're going to have really good, nice drivability, some off-road, but mainly on-road capabilities. It's going to be quiet. Your all-terrain is going to also be quiet, and it's going to have your best drivability on road. And then obviously your street tread. Nobody wants to run a street tread. Everybody wants to go with all-terrain hybrids or the mud tire. So again, keep that in mind when picking out your wheel and tire package, the look, the ride, and how it sounds. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You guys know it's a lot of information, and you probably didn't think about half the stuff that I actually talked about when purchasing wheels and tires for your setup or your build. So make sure you guys keep in mind, again, your finish, your bolt pattern, your wheel and tire setup, how it sticks out past the fenders, the factory fenders, your build, the suspension kit. Pretty much everything goes into play when getting a wheel and tire package. Again, thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, don't be this guy.
These are for a Ford. I don't know why. You got the wrong bolt pattern, my boy. These are 8 lugs. You got 6 lugs.
Well, I don't know, dude. You gotta work it out.